What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is Sunday. It is April 14th. Tomorrow is tax day, and I still have yet to file my taxes. So I need to do that. But welcome back, or welcome for the first time. If you've never been here before, you're in for a treat, I hope. We're not like the other DFS providers. We go through every game. We're going to look at the games. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the bats. While I do the video, I have our algorithm running in the background for simulations. So we do 20,000 simulations a day. But we're going to give you the top 20 bats in this video after 10,000 simulations are done running. So could be in the middle of the video. Could be at the end of the video. It depends on when I get a notification saying that it is done. So stick around. Hopefully you're in for a treat. So if you've never been here before, we give a lot of information out. We do have FTA Plus. You can check it out. It's $29.99 a month. That gets you basically $1 a day. MLB, NBA, NASCAR, PGA. It gets you there. We are looking at adding like PGA showdowns for each round. It depends on if there's enough interest in that. We're also looking at possibly getting MLB like 150 simulated lineups just to kind of show you what morning time shows and what towards the lineup lock shows for you there. So that is definitely another tool that we want to use. In the description of this video is the article that coincides with today's slate, with the plays that we like at each position, or some of the plays we like at each position. We also have giveaways every single day. 2 ways to win every single video. We already have the NBA video out, so go check that out. You could win technically 4 times today if we get our goals. First one, just like the video, be a subscriber and leave a comment, positive or negative. Helps the algorithm out. Positivity helps me out as well. If this video gets at least 50 likes and you have left a comment, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. If we get 100 likes, it's a chance to win a free month. 150 likes is a chance to win a free year worth $200. Or video gets 200 or more likes, you have a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass for only liking the video and leaving a comment. Second way to do it, like this video and tell me who is going to hit a home run and what inning they're going to hit it in. You get that correct, send me a screenshot of your username and the player and inning that you chose at dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1 at gmail.com. And if you are correct, you will win a free week of FTA Plus. So we do currently still have a promo going. The yearly pass is worth $199. Use the promo code birthday, all one word, all capital letters. You will get $100 off the yearly pass. Get it for $99. I think there are 4 coupon codes left. Last I looked, first come, first serve. Once they are gone, it'll go back up to $199. So that is that. Let's check out who the winner of yesterday's giveaway for that video. So we got 105 likes on that video, 50 comments, a couple of them are mine. So it'll filter out that. If my name does pop up, we will rerun this. So this is going to be the person that will win a free month of FTA Plus. And that winner is Michael Schwick 111 Bacon. Now, Michael has won multiple times, and you guys can win multiple times as well. That's what I try to tell you. So you can come. It's been a while since I think he's won. But Michael, if you are looking at this, like this video and let me know you saw it. And I will search your username on the website and give you that free month if I can find it. But you can always hit me up in Discord or Twitter or X, or email me with your username just to make sure. So, again, you guys check this out. You can also go check out the NBA video, which I will link below or at the end of this video. And you have a chance to win a total of 4 times. So, get in there, check it out. If you've got questions, comments, let's hear them. But now we are going to check out this slate. So the slate is broken up into, there's an afternoon slate of 3 games, and then there's a normal slate. So just overall looking at like the ballpark factors and everything right now, as of now, Comerica Park, Minnesota, and Detroit, the wind is blowing out. It does give a boost to doubles and triples, just the way the wind's blowing into the gaps. Guaranteed rate field, looking at Cincy versus the White Sox, 18% chance of, like, it jumps up the percentage for home runs. It is blowing out to left center, which will take advantage of that. Progressive field between the Yankees and Guardians. Wind is blowing out to right center right now. Again, it can change between then. So it does give a boost to home runs. Kind of the same thing. We've got a boost to home runs. Citizens Bank Park, the wind is blowing directly out for Pittsburgh versus Philly. And I believe that's, like, as of now, that's like the most. We got Chase Field, wind is blowing out, but it is a dome or retractable roof. Same thing, T-Mobile Park, wind is blowing out. Should be good to go there. So yeah, Dodger Stadium, I don't know how many times the Dodgers and Padres are going to get national TV coverage. It's kind of annoying. So, that being said, comment, we are good. Let's dig into this slate. So, we look at this. We start off with Tyler Anderson versus Brayan Bello. Anderson, 25 plate appearances, 320 batting average against him. Bello, 30 plate appearances, 250 batting average, 26.7 K percentage. I would not look at Anderson. I would definitely be looking at Bello here, and I would be looking at the Red Sox bats to go off. We took the Red Sox bats in the slate on Saturday, and it really did come through for us big time. So we'll look at these. We can just look at Tyler Anderson being down here, 5,200, very cheap. 4.1, or that's Tyler Alexander. Tyler Anderson is 7,000. We look at his game logs. He's actually had 2 really good games. So to be honest with you, the way Boston's been hitting, I could see this going either way. So this is kind of what I'm telling you. While maybe the first observer would see 25 plate appearances, 320 batting average, if you don't actually dig in to see maybe it's 1 or 2 batters who are hitting like 600 to bump that average up. I mean, Devers is probably, he was out Saturday, probably out again. That's 3 for 7. That's 429. Tyler O'Neill's 1 for 3. That's 333. Then you got 2 for 4 and 1 for 2 for a 500 batting average. To be honest with you, I don't mind Tyler Anderson once you dig into the numbers. And that's what I want to tell you. I'm not perfect. I will be wrong. I will admit when I'm wrong. Off the cuff, I just looked. I said Boston. But you know what? Tyler Anderson has had success so far this year. He's 7,000 against Boston. I would like this game if we're in LA, but we're in Boston. 0 ERA through 2 games, 2-0 record, 8 Ks, 0.79 whip. Tournament-wise, I don't mind Anderson. I think Bello is more of your cash option here. You look at him, he's been iffy. Seattle, Boston, Baltimore, the first 2 games should have been really good, 11.7. They've dropped his price down now. To be honest with you, I don't know if I'd use Bello. The problem is he's not going deep into games. 5 innings, 1-1 record, 4.11 ERA, 11 Ks, 1.11 whip, 11.9 fantasy points per game is what he's averaging. And Mike Trout is looking like Mike Trout. I kind of like a little bit here. I kind of like the Angels bats here too. So the bats that I would use, so what you're doing is you're looking at this, if you're looking at Baseball Savant, you're looking at dark red. You want the dark red. So if you're going with the Angels, I'm going with Mike Trout. I want Mike, give me all the smoke with Mike Trout, Taylor Ward, Logan O'Hoppe. These guys are I'm looking at. Then you can, if you're trying to stack Nolan Schanuel, you could look at Zach Neto. You could look at Brandon Drury. I don't mind. If for whatever reason you are not going with Tyler Anderson, Tyler O'Neill, Jarren Duran, Tristan Casas, Will Abreu, if they're in, I don't mind them. But I'm probably focusing on Anderson and some of the Angels bats. I think that'll be a sneakier option that I don't know if many people will be stacking this game. Next game, Pirates at the Phillies. You got Mitch Keller versus Zach Wheeler. Keller in his career, 113 plate appearances, 364 batting average. So that is what I say. Some people like to look at BVP, but when it's like 25 to 30 plate appearances, that's not much. But when you look at Mitch Keller and you look at 364 batting average in 113 plate appearances, they seem to hit him well, and that's what we need to look at. So, Castellanos is 7 for 29 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs. It's a 241 batting average. Does have 10 Ks. Schwarber's 7 for 13 with 4 doubles and a home run. So 5 of his 7 hits have been extra base hits. That's a 538 average. Real Muto, 6 for 13 with double, triple, and a home run. It's a 462. You got Bryce Harper, 4 for 9 with 2 doubles. That's a 444. Bryson Stott is batting 375. Trey Turner, 333. I would look at a Philly stack. Depending on the lineup that comes out, I don't think you could go wrong. I don't think I want any exposure to Mitch Keller in this one. Zach Wheeler, on the other hand, I want Zach Wheeler. 66 plate appearances, 177. I'm looking at Zach Wheeler, and I am looking at the Phillies bats. I don't want anything to do with Mitch Keller. Zach Wheeler's probably the top. Yeah, so he's 9,900, so he is up in price, but I want that. I want Zach Wheeler, and I want Philly bats in this game. I don't want Mitch Keller. I don't really want any of the Pirates bats. Move to the Brewers versus the Orioles. You got Colin Ray versus Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns, if you don't know, last year, arbitration's a really stupid thing where they basically tell they're good players they don't think they're worth the extra 400,000 or whatever the number is, and then they try and lowball them, and then sometimes they win, and then MLB trade rumors will go like Milwaukee absolutely destroys and defeats Corbin Burns in arbitration, and then Corbin Burns was upset. Now he got traded. This is the ultimate FU to the owner, to the GM, if Corbin Burns goes out there and absolutely shoves. I think that happens. We look at Corbin Burns, game log-wise, coming off a good game against Boston, not a good game against Kansas City. Kansas City's just been hitting very well lately. And then a fantastic game against the Angels. I think he absolutely could shove here. That's what I would look at. I would be looking at Corbin Burns here. That takes me off of Milwaukee bats, and then looking at Baltimore bats. It just depends on the bats that we could be looking at, but the bats that I don't mind would be like Adley Rutschman. Jackson Holliday has struggled. He did not play on Saturday, or did not start on Saturday. I could see him coming in here. Santander. It just depends on this lineup that comes out, so kind of wait for the lineup, but I love me some Corbin Burns on this slate. Rockies at the Blue Jays, Kyle Freeland versus Jose Barrios. The thing is, Kyle Freeland's all the way at the bottom. I'm not using him. He's a bad boy, and not a good one. You look at this, and we feel that what I would love to be looking at is 6.5. So coming off 2 negative starts to start the season, comes in with a 16 ERA, 2.91 whip, only 6 Ks. I'm taking Toronto bats here. I think they absolutely tee off on him. Jose Barrios, 17. I would take Barrios against Colorado, and I would take the Toronto bats. So I would be looking at George Springer at the top. Vlad, I wouldn't be surprised if he hits a home run. Bo Bichette's kind of been slow, but wouldn't be surprised if he hits a home run. 69 plate appearances out of Freeland, 333 batting average. There's some numbers here. If we look at what they've done, Justin Turner, I would look at Justin Turner against Freeland. He's 16 for 48. He's obviously seen him the most being on the Dodgers, with Freeland being in the same division. So 16 for 48, 3 doubles and a triple. Surprised he doesn't have a home run. I would look at him, Springer, IKF if he's a cheap option, Bo Bichette. Like, these are what I would look at. I'm definitely all in on a Toronto stack, and I do love Barrios. Royals at the Mets, you got Cole Ragans versus Jose Buto. Ragans has been everything that we've wanted when we've used him. So we do look at him. He's 8,300. It is a pitcher's park against the Mets, a lefty pitcher. I don't mind. I'll take Cole Ragans here if it loads. Didn't really do much against Houston. 5 innings, 10 hits allowed, only 3 earned runs, walk, and 5 Ks, only 8.7 fantasy points. Against Baltimore, against Minnesota, 26.5, 22.7. I feel like it could be one of those games again. And again, I could be wrong. Anyone can be wrong. The Mets could go off, but I don't want, when I look at this, I'm looking at Ragans, and I am looking at the Royals bats here, which is weird to say about the Royals. But we look at their bats. The ones I would look at against Buto would be, I would look at Nelson Velasquez. I would look at Sal Perez. I would look at MJ Melendez if he's in there. You've got, obviously, Bobby Witt at the top. These are the bats that you could look for. Vinny Pasquantino would be another one. So I honestly don't mind Ragans and a Kansas City as one of my stacks on this slate. So that's kind of my thought process in this one. Then we got the Giants at the Rays. Blake Snell first facing his old team. We've got a couple of these matchups with premier pitchers facing their old teams. Was weary of Snell his first start of the year. I didn't know how deep he'd go into the game. In that game, only went 3 innings against Washington, gave up 3 earned runs. They ended up losing that game. 2 walks, 5 Ks. That's kind of what, the strikeouts were there. he is very expensive going up against his old team. 3 innings is not much. That is why it's like I don't think I can pay up for Snell in this one. I think you want to go the opposite. You could look at Tampa Bay stack. You could look at like Paredes. You could look at Harold Ramirez. You could look at Arozarena. All these righty bats against Snell. I personally don't think I can pay up just because I don't think he's going to go deep into the game. So that's also a thing. Like the walks are a thing. Not going deep into games are a thing. Obviously, 3 innings is not one that we're looking at. But I just don't think he goes into the game enough where I don't feel comfortable going 9,500. I'd rather look at Tampa Bay bats over looking at Snell. And then we don't know who Tampa Bay is going to throw out there. If they put any, maybe Alexander. Yeah. So you could look at Tyler Alexander. He hasn't done much. Gone 4.1 in 5 innings. Given up runs. Given up 3.8, 4.5. So hasn't done much. That could take into San Francisco bats. Jorge Soler hits lefties very, very well. I would look at Matt Chapman, who hits lefties well. I would look at Lamont Wade Jr. Like, I would look at, depending on what San Francisco stat comes out, I don't want the pitching in this game. I will look at the bats in this game. Twins versus the Tigers, Bailey Ober versus Jack Flaherty. Ober, 54 plate appearances, 280 batting average. Flaherty, 21 plate appearances, 211 batting average. So not a ton. They haven't seen each other at like a whole ton, but they're still there. So I believe this was this opening day? Bailey Ober wasn't opening day, was he? No. But, okay. So he played Kansas City. They 1.1 innings, 9 earned runs. His start minus 17. And then the Dodgers, which is weird because you'd think it would be the opposite. But against the Dodgers, 5 innings, 7 Ks, 20.3 fantasy points going up against Detroit. Tournament-wise, I don't mind Ober because he's 6,600. That allows you to pay up everywhere. Jack Flaherty, on the other hand, you look at what he's done. We go here, going up against Minnesota. White Sox, 22.5. Oakland, 4.9. So was not expecting him to get hit by Oakland. 8,400. I'd probably rather go ahead and take Ober in this one for his price and just avoid Flaherty in this situation. And if you are taking like the bats for Minnesota, obviously Correa's on the IL now because he's made of the softest glass in the world. You could be looking at, it depends, but you could be looking at different ones and seeing what they were. And then the bats that jump out, obviously you want to take Buxton before he gets hurt. You want to take Carlos Santana. I would look at Kirilloff a little bit. Edward Julian. A cheaper option would be Austin Martin, which I believe he is outfield and second base eligible on DraftKings. You could look at Ryan Jeffers a little bit. I don't mind him. Or Matt Wallner is a couple of the ones you could be looking at. But I don't want Flaherty, and I will take a little bit of Bailey over here. So we look at that. Next game comes up. Braves at the Marlins. You've got Charlie Morton versus the Jesus Lizard, Jesus Luzardo. Morton, 126 plate appearances, 233 batting average, 30.2 K percentage. I don't know how he's doing what he's doing at his age. Then Jesus Luzardo, 97 plate appearances, 207 batting average. I'd rather take the Braves bats, and I'd rather take Charlie Morton here. So that's what I would go with. If the Braves bats I'm looking at, Ozuna hits lefties well. Adam Duvall probably will be in there. He hits lefties well. Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Matt Olson. Like, it doesn't matter. I think the Braves are a stack where you want to make multiple different stacks. So go to the 1 through 4, 1 through 5 batters. If you want to do a wraparound, do 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Something crazy like that. Get a little differentiation here, but I do like the Braves, and I do like Charlie Morton. Then you got the Yankees versus the Guardians. Nestor Cortez, 47 plate appearance of 186. People were off of Cortez in his last start, and then that is when he absolutely went off. Had his stuff working. It was at home. Now it's on the road, but you've got Cortez versus Logan Allen. Logan Allen has been very inconsistent. Okay? So we'll look at Nestor Cortez first, which he's down here at 7,200. There's no way Logan Allen's above him, right? I mean, he's coming off against Miami, 8 innings, helped the bullpen out, 6 Ks, 32.8 fantasy points out of him. 6,700. He's only gone up 500. Now he's facing Cleveland. They are a good team. I completely get that. Cleveland, going into the doubleheader on Saturday, was the Yankees with the best record against Cleveland with the second best record. But as we saw, the Yankees are hitting very, very well this year. Logan Allen's right here at 7,900. Game log wise, the White Sox, supposed to be a great matchup for him. 4 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 4 Ks, 2.2 fantasy points. I would be looking at the Yankees as a stack. So Saturday or Sundays are usually the days where catchers do rest. So that's for every single team, and you'll see that trend moving forward. But use that to your attention. Probably Trevino being in there, but not much for the bat. In this Yankees lineup, I would be looking at Aaron Judge. I would be looking at Volpe, who's been leading off and absolutely been crushing it. Rizzo's turned it on lately. I would look at him. Judge, coming around, had some good hits. He hits the ball well. It's just been 2 batters. So the BABIP is gods are not on his side right now. You could still look at Glaber. He's a little bit cheaper, but Juan Soto's another one that I'd be looking at. Oswaldo Cabrera, lefty-righty matchup. He's been smashing it as well. So the Yankees as a stack, Nestor Cortez, I like both of those. No real Guardians bats jump out to me right now, and I don't want Logan Allen against this Yankees team. Then we got the Rangers at the Astros. You got Nate Eovaldi versus Christian Javier. Eovaldi here, 175 plate appearances, 293 batting average. So they have hit him well. And then Javier, 138 plate appearances, 213 batting average. So overall, they've hit him well. Altuve's 13 for 45 with 2 doubles and 5 home runs. So he does see the ball very, very well out of the hand of Eovaldi. 289 batting average, a 667 slugging. Like, those numbers are pretty big. You got Bregman, 9 for 25, 3 doubles, 2 home runs. You've got Abreu, probably wouldn't use him. Yordan, 11 for 15, 3 doubles, 2 home runs. Absolutely smashes. That's batting 733. Yordan would be my home run pick for today. Absolutely crushes. Give me some Yordan, and that's probably going to be one of my core plays. That's another thing. Our Discord is down below in the description. We give out core plays every single day. Baseball, basketball. When we have football, it'll be the same thing. So would be looking at Yordan here. That's one of my favorite plays. Probably my favorite play. It'd be Altuve, Bregman, Yordan, Kyle Tucker. He hits lefties well. He hits righties well as well. Those would be the ones I'd look at. Yonder Diaz, I like him more against lefties, but I would put him in there if he starts. But again, catchers on a Sunday usually rest. And then you got, so we can look at what they've done. So Eovaldi coming in, 9,300. He is expensive. He is coming off some good games, though. 23.8, 32.8, 11.9. So he's had success this year, but the Astros have hit him well. Tournament-wise, if you want to go contrarian and go against the grain, you could go Eovaldi, but I love some of these Astros bats against him. And then Javier, on the other hand, 8,000 here. Coming off a bad game against Kansas City, 5.1 innings. Toronto had a good game. The Yankees had a good game. But it is Texas. We do know it was obviously last year's playoffs. I don't know where I want to go with this one. I do know that the Astros would be at least a stack that I would look at for sure. Yordan at least, and probably a core lineup play. Simeon's 4 for 23. Taveras would be a cheap option, 5 for 17 with a double and a home run. You got Corey Seager, 6 for 24. 2 doubles, 3 home runs. So 5 of the 6 hits are extra base hits. Jonah Heim's only 2 for 12. Jared Walsh only 2 for 12. So yeah, I would still be looking at. You could look at Jankowski would be a cheap option if he starts. Adolis Garcia would be probably a popular option. Taveras would be a contrarian play. So I think if you are looking at Texas bats, we're looking at Seager, we're looking at Jonah Heim, we're looking at Taveras, we're looking at Jankowski. Could be a cheap option for you. So, next game, we've got the Reds at the White Sox. Is that here? Nope, it's still on this slate. And again, the wind is blowing out. You got Graham Ashcraft going up against Michael Soroka. Soroka has not been what we wanted him to be, or what some other people want. But Soroka here, game log, hasn't done much. Hasn't really, his last game in Cleveland didn't go much, and the ballpark might not hold the ball in here. You got Graham Ashcraft, which could be a sneaky option because the White Sox are bad. So I don't mind Graham Ashcraft, especially at 7,700 on this slate where you could be looking at bats and pitching. So the bats that I would look at would be the bats for Cincinnati. So depending if they're in there, Ellie De La Cruz, Spencer Steer. Let's see. They haven't seen him. So we go here. We look at this one. Ellie De La Cruz, red. Encarnacio Strand you could look at. You could look at Will Benson. You could look at Spencer Steer, a ton of red out of him. Tyler Stevenson, but again, catchers might sit today, so that's definitely something to look at. Jake Fraley, Nick Martini. I am all in on Graham Ashcraft and a Cincinnati stack here. Then we got the Washington at the we got the National. Oh, so let's take a look. So overall, we'll look at the pitchers that we kind of like. So I've had questions. I wouldn't use Freeland. I wouldn't use Alexander. I wouldn't use Soroka. I wouldn't use Ray. I wouldn't use Buto. I would look at Ober. I would look at Anderson. I would look at Cortez. I'm probably shying away from Bayo. I would look at Graham Ashcraft. I want nothing to do with Logan Allen. Christian Javier is a sneaky option. I think Barrios is a good option. Reagans is a good option. I'm off of the Flaherty, Keller, Luzardo train. I will have some exposure to Morton. Probably not Eovaldi. Probably not Snell. And I will look at both Wheeler and Burns if you're paying up for pitching on this main slate. Then we get to the afternoon slate. It's 3 games, not much going on. We got Washington versus Oakland, St. Louis versus Arizona, Chicago versus Seattle. So we look at this. I don't want anything to do with these pitchers. I would take the bats in this one. So the bats, and that's what's crazy. Like, I'm probably not. I mean, if you were to pull my arm, hey, what are you taking? I would take the bats in this one and not pitching. But I mean, if you were to take bats, C.J. Abrams, Lane Thomas, Jesse Winker, Eddie Rosario. I don't mind these guys for Washington, but I'm probably not taking bats. I'm probably just avoiding this game altogether. I don't even know if I'll play this afternoon slate. Then you got the Athletics. I mean, Lawrence Butler is hitting the ball well. J.D. Davis, Langoliers, Giloff, Seth Brown. Like, these are the ones I would use. I don't know if I will be playing this slate, though. So I'm probably just avoiding this game altogether. I would not use these pitchers. But again, it's a 3-game slate. There's not a ton of there's not a ton of pitchers to choose from. Cubs versus the Mariners, Javier Assad versus Luis Castillo. Castillo has looked like absolute garbage, and he's still the highest priced pitcher on this slate. Coming in, 6 Ks his last game, 4 earned runs. He's given up at least 4 earned runs every single game this year. 6.89 ERA, 0.3 record, 18 strikeouts, 1.85 whip. And he's the most expensive. I'm probably looking at Cubs bats. Cody Bellinger has struggled. I would look at him. Chris Morel. Overall 99 plate appearances. He's seen the Cubs a bit, being in Cincinnati for what he was. Ian Happ is 8 for 27 with 3 doubles and a home run. You got Dansby Swanson 3 for 16 with a double. You've got Cody Bellinger 3 for 16 with 2 doubles. Nico Horner 6 for 9 with a double. Chris Morel 1 for 5 with a double. Like, that's what you're looking at. I would be like Seiya Suzuki. I will look at him. I would look at Chris Morel, Nico Horner, Dansby, Ian Happ, maybe a little bit of Bellinger as well. So Assad, I mean, 8,000 game log wise. Coming off some pretty good starts. Seattle struggled. The Stars have struggled in Seattle. Assad, I don't mind Javier Assad here. To be completely honest with you. Castillo, he's an ace. He's a stud when he's on. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is. It's just some of these main big pitchers, they're either out hurt now for the year, Tommy John surgery, elbow problems, shoulder problems, or they're just struggling to start the season. It's a wild, wild west out there. I would rather, if you would have told me at the beginning of the season, before opening day, and you showed me this matchup, I would have said Castillo over Assad. It's different. I would look at the Cubs, and I would look at Assad here. Now, Castillo has stuff to be great. I don't know when it's going to show up. It's going to show up sometime this year, you would think, unless he's pulling an Alek Manoah, which is wild. But yeah, I would look at Assad and the Cubs bats. Then we get the Cardinals at the Diamondbacks. You got Miles Mikolas versus Zach Gallen. I believe Gallen was in the Cardinal system before getting traded, if I recall. And then you got Miles Mikolas, 99 plate appearances, 211 batting average. I never know what I'm going to get out of him. So let's just take a look. So I'm very surprised Gallen is not priced up higher than Castillo. I know he struggled. Like, he hasn't been as sharp this year. Like, one start against Colorado, he did okay. Had a great game against the Yankees. Got the dub there. 6 innings, 6 Ks. And then in Colorado, no one was using him. 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, 20.5. Now, the problem is we are early. We are seeing these innings being weird. They're being very low innings-wise. That is the only thing that scares me a little bit. Are we going to get 5, 6 out of him? But he's got a great matchup here against St. Louis. It is in Arizona, which is a hitter's park overall. But Zach Gallen, again, when you have 6 pitchers to choose from, you got to go somewhere. And then you got Mikolas here. He's shown flashes of good stuff in previous seasons. He really hasn't done much this year. 4.1 innings against the Dodgers, 5 earned runs. But then he's actually held the other teams to only 2 earned runs. So I think a tournament option that people will be off of would be Mikolas, because he's 6,500. But, I mean, that would be perfect. So I don't mind him there. And then this game, we can't play it. This is a single game, only Sunday Night Baseball. I don't know how many primetime games these Dodgers and Padres are going to get. But yeah, so that is the breakdown. If you look at the pitchers that we would look at, I'm off of Wood. I don't mind Mikolas. I'm off of Williams. I don't mind Assad and Gallen as well. So I think it's basically Gallen, Assad, and Mikolas is what you would look at to kind of mix and match in this afternoon slate. So that being said, if you're still here, we do have the top 20 bats after doing 10,000 simulations. So let's give you them right now. Now, this will change most likely after 20,000 simulations. So that's why I do tell you, go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Under the MLB tab, we have a ton of information. The simulations are there. So here we go. Right now, it's got Adolis Garcia, number 1. Number 2 is Ronald Acuna Jr. Number 3 is Bobby Witt Jr. Number 4 is Will Benson. Number 5 is Bryce Harper. 6 is Anthony Volpe, who's been absolutely on fire this year. 7 is Jose Altuve, who has a great track record against Eovaldi. 8 is Kyle Schwarber against Mitch Keller. Love me the Philly stack for sure. Number 9 is Corey Seager. 10 is Justin Turner. 11 is his last name friend, Trey Turner. Number 12 is Gunnar Henderson against Colin Ray. 13 is Michael Garcia. 14 is Aaron Judge. 15 is Yordan. I would not be surprised if Yordan gets way better than 15 after the simulation. I absolutely love Yordan here. 16, Jonathan India. 17, Kyle Tucker. 18, Marcus Semien. 19, Vladdy. And number 20, as of right now, is Paul Goldschmidt against his former team in the Arizona Diamondbacks. So there you have it. There's the breakdown of all of the pitchers, the bats in every game, the bats that we like, the top 20 bats through here as well. So that is what I've got. Good luck on this Sunday slate, and we will be back for Monday, tax day as well. Good luck on this slate, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!